you. My name is Loren Spivack, and I'm known as the free market warrior. And I run around the country, and I teach people about economics, and about freedom, and about how it's really going to be, and how it's really going to look if we're going to reclaim our country. I wanted to start with something that I heard Newt Gingrich say the other day. He was talking about the Republican Party, and he said that the Republican Party needs to not be a party of tactics. It needs to be a party of ideas. And I thought that was interesting, as is usually the case these days with Newt Gingrich. I couldn't disagree more. I personally am not interested in a party of tactics or a party of ideas. Ideas are great if you're the person who's paying the bill for the ideas. But I've had a couple of years of ideas, and I'm sick and tired of them. I want a party of principles. It is principles, not ideas, that made this country and brought us to where we are, and it's principles that are going to get us out of this again. It's incredibly important that we understand what the stakes are. There have been 3 turning points in American history. There was the era of the American Revolution, there was the era of the Civil War, and there was the era of the New Deal. This is the 4th. It's worth noting that 2 out of the 3 previous times of change ended up expanding the federal government. If we don't want to fall into that same trap, we have to understand what's going on, and we have to keep our eyes on the prize. And there's going to be a lot of nonsense that you guys are going to be hearing. You're going to be hearing politicians, probably Republican politicians, talk about giving you a tax cut. And you need to be able to say to them that tax cuts, you know, are lovely, but they are just totally 1980s. We are at a whole different point in history. We are looking for a constitutional guarantee that every American keeps 90% of his income. That's not a tax cut. That ends the issues of tax cuts. You're going to hear politicians who tell you, well, you know, we need to make things more conservative. I want the public school system, as they did in Texas, to be more conservative and teach more conservative values. And, you know, that's very nice. But that's not what we really want. We want our money back. And we want to send our kids to the schools that we send them to and be able to take the money away when we go. And we want to have the choice, and we want to be responsible for teaching our own kids. And you're going to hear politicians of all parties say, I've got some special goodies from Washington for you. And I'm not like those old guys. These aren't going to be the socialist goodies. These aren't going to be those left-wing. I've got nice conservative goodies for you from Washington. And you need to be able to say to them, the free market warrior told me not to take candy from politicians. Because we're not going to do that anymore. If we're going to be free, we have to do 3 things. Number 1 is that free market conservatives and social conservatives need to come together and work together. When we don't, the country ends up being run by lunatics who hate freedom and they hate religion.
Right.
That's what we've got now. And if we come together, we can actually take back the country. It's going to be a religious country, and it's going to be a free country. The second thing that we need to do is we need to understand economics. And that's what my seminar is about. If you haven't been there yet, if your group hasn't had one, I'm going to be around for the rest of the afternoon. Please come up to me, or I'll come up to you. I would love it. It's free. There's no charge. I want to come, and I want to take 2 nights, and I want people to understand the principles of economics. If you don't get it, you can't have a democracy. Okay? Democracy is based on the idea that people understand what's going on. And as long as you don't understand the basics of free market economics, you are going to be suckered by whoever the slickest politician of the moment is, who can come along and explain that he's the one who's got the economic solution. Freedom actually means something, and we can have it, but we have to understand what it is and what it looks like. I'm going to end, and I'm not going to sing, unlike our previous speaker. I can't sing and I won't try. But there's an old Union song, if you can believe it, that I heard a couple years ago, and it seemed to me to be something that really belonged to our movement today. And it went like this: freedom doesn't come like a bird on the wing. Freedom doesn't come like the summer rain. Freedom is a hard-fought thing. You have to work for it, fight for it, day and night for it, and every generation has to win it again. Thank you so much.